Now this is another shot of the canal going through the mountain. This is what it looked like. And they cut this. They took 50 years, I believe, to build this thing, something like that. But this is another shot of the canal. And my buddy, he was over here on this hill, and I'm here. And the old craft that came over came from this way, went right between our position. And he was on my right, facing west. And I had another buddy behind me, so that craft went between them two right over us. They saw the craft when they went over our position. Again, that's just another shot to give you something. Now, and down in Dublin, again, this one gentleman here, look at the picture I showed you earlier with my wife, but this gentleman have an air conditioner shop, and they were telling me about what happened a few years back. There was this huge craft came over the city, Dublin. This is south of Granbury, right down the road, which is about a 2-hour drive from here. And he called him, said, go outside and see if you see something. He went outside, this huge craft was going right over the city. Everybody in the town saw. How many people heard about that about 4 or 5 years ago? So you don't hear about that. That's happened. That was, And also in the same town, back in the early part of the century, they got a cemetery there that there was a UFO crash, and one of the old cemetery that like where they buried the old cowboy, the old soldiers, like horse soldiers. They got a UFO alien grave there. And if you go to the library, you go down to the library, they got record of that.
In Dublin?
Dublin.
You mean there's two places, Aurora and Dublin, that have cemeteries with aliens buried?
He's buried in the cemetery with the old soldiers, and like you see the little cemetery spot every which way. You go and you see the grave. This is 18 this, 1901, like this. In that area, they said go to the library, but we were there on Friday afternoon. I didn't have a chance to go to the library, but I asked anybody down there, yeah, you can go to the library and see about that. They got it down there. Okay, now this is here. Oh, I can see that too. Okay, anyway, remember I told you about Sandy Monroe? This is their horse, their pasture here, and they saw the UFO over in here. Remember I said it's eight lights, headlights. This is where I took a picture of that. Now, this kind of strange because when I took pictures of this same area, I did not remember this thing here. It might be a spot in there, it might not. But I do have a picture where you see there is something in there. Okay, this is a picture of Sao Paulo. This is wrong place. Go to the next one. Okay, now this is in the Republic of South Korea, and this is where we went down a retrieval. I was one of the security guards retrieval down here. North Korea over there, and South Korea back here, and this is where the U.S. military patrolled all of this, and they had put out a crash, and they called us out to go and secure the area to do the retrieval. That's not much I can say on that. Okay, why we can see only some of them? Why we can only see some of them sometimes we can't? Well, I think that they want us, when they want us to see them, then they will let us. When they don't want us to see them, then we don't. I think that they got control, like we have the stealth, that they can't pick our plane up on radar. I think they can do that to us, that we can see them. I think if one was in this room right now, I think that they could, somewhere they could manipulate our mind that everybody except one person could see them, or only one person could see them. Okay. But now, this is down at Monroe Farm. I took a picture over here because this is another shot of the area down by the entrance of that place. I took this picture there. You see, there's nothing there. When I go take pictures, I always take two pictures. A lot of people take two pictures in case one don't come out. So I took one picture like this, and you go to the next one. I think I got. You can faintly see this up. You can barely see it right there. It's on the actual photograph, I took this from the photograph. On the actual photograph, you can see it real good. There's a cylinder, the black cylinder object there. And I looked at it, I said, man, it wasn't in there. On the other picture, it wasn't there. In the second picture, it was. It was right there. Right there. It's the exact same everything. It's a clear day. It was about 100 degrees that day. Okay, genetic engineering. This is my favorite one. Genetic engineering, abduction, and XPT extraction. Okay, now there's a lot of talk saying that they engineered us to do this. Well, that could be true. I don't know, but what I know is based on my research, based on my personal experience, is that they are interacting with us and they're doing things. Now, the metaphysical people, they got a lot to say on this, but I do know that where I disagree with some of the metaphysical people is that they are all not friendly, because when I was abducted, when I was 16 years old, they wasn't friendly at all to me, because I was just 16 years old and they were doing things that, you know, I didn't think that was right at the time, you know. And based on things that people tell me all over the world, actually, that especially with the women, more so women than men, and that they are building a new race of beings, a hybrid being, and they are doing this through impregnating a woman and taking the embryo back to their ship, and they growing it from there, and they looking just like us. Then they bring them back down here, plant us back down here on this planet, and they nurture us through the whole process of growing up. And as far like some people say, well, they got this implant in me, they abduct me, they were checking this out or they're checking that out. And from what a lot of people say, which I kind of believe too, if they in fact are doing this, which I do believe personally, you know, I could be wrong, that they are tending their own, making sure that you're all right for their agenda. I don't know what their agenda could be, but I do believe that that could be for the hybridization of this planet. And now these hybrids that is down here doing this, it could be anybody. It could be any one of us in the room. And the thing about that, you know, they don't know that they are a hybrid. A lot of people used to say, well, I'm from this place, I'm from that place, I'm Pleiadian, I'm Arcturian, I'm Orion, I'm this, I'm that. I thought that person's crazy. Okay. I used to do it, though. But now I got a different think on that. You know, I think differently on this. But it was something in their mind, possibly they could be. Because some people, you could talk to some people, they can tell you about they want this shield, they got memory of this, but it's faint. They can't put it together. They can't, it's kind of disarray. And I think that they can manipulate our mind in such a way that we know just enough. Well, I used to see just enough to hurt ourselves, I'll put it that way. But this particular craft that I would invite on, he said that I was Arcturian. I said, well, I'm not Arcturian, I'm African. I came here, my ancestors were brought over as slaves, and I'm offspring to know you're Arcturian. Okay, so what happens is that this is a slide that further help what I'm saying is that they take the women, they abduct them, and they do whatever they have to do, and then they take the embryo and they send the woman, because a lot of people I've talked to, I talked to a lot of couples, and they have problems because the woman appears pregnant, like in Rhode Island, up in New Hampshire, Rhode Island and New Hampshire. There was this couple that was in the Navy. He went away on a ship out for about 9 months, came back, she was pregnant. And she, you know, they were having problems. She said she hadn't she know, but they had problems. And sometime later, she wasn't pregnant anymore. So they had another problem, And so, and when I was there, I told them, they said, what's going on? I told them about that happened. I explained to them how the process worked, that this is what happened. Then they're okay now. He liked that idea. Well, she liked that. And with the men, they do the same thing. They take the men's sperm and they take the women's egg, and they do that. Now there are two kind of hybrid. There are two kind of hybrid that's here. Okay, you have the. About time to check time because I don't have a watch.
3 o'clock.
Oh, okay. How long shall I go? We'll have some time for the questions
I don't see anybody snoozing yet. Keep going.
Okay, that we have what you call like our human here, the regular earth people, okay, us people. And then you have us, the people that is dim. But we all look alike. And they program us. But what I think is that the people that, the earth people, the true skeptics, I think they are the real ones because they go such distance to deny. And I think that they are being programmed that because it's not time for us to know these things yet. And a lot of, something else too is that the government, I'll get into that a little later, the government role that they play, that they are, those denying people in the government, I think that they are, some of them is these hybrid people that don't want us to know the truth. Because if we know the truth, then we can mess up their plan. It's not gonna work right. But I think that we are finding out more things now. They're hard at work trying to keep us, but we, like I said earlier, we have to break that shell. I think we're beginning to come out of that box now, breaking that shell. And I think that's where the problem is at. Breaking that shell. Okay. Now, this is where I was. This is all a crap, okay? Now this is, like I said, this slide comes from another presentation about non-abduction, but I brought this one here to help show you about what they're doing. They had people laying on tables, had little tables out, laying on tables, and they had these people here were some like hybrid. They look almost like human, but the eyes were like it wasn't completely like gray, but you know that they had some part of the gray in there. They were hybrid. And some like here, and then you had some that were regular people. They looked like us, but they wasn't us. Okay, they looked like us. And they had some people standing up here at this thing like the wall, they had this, like these picture things. They monitored that. And the people down here at the table, I remember I was laying at the table, had somebody, they were doing something to me. And I was very angry. I was mad. I was fighting. I didn't want that. And so this one individual came up and touched me right here. I just fell out. I don't know what, he just slightly touched me. And they would touch certain part of the body with that little thing. And when he touched certain part of the body, these things would strobe, light up different colors. And these people here, they were not monitoring. They were, they're looking at it like they look at it. Like when you go to the hospital, like I just had a heart attack about 3 weeks ago, and they were in there monitoring these things, all over monitoring how they set watch your weight. But this is like what they were doing. They were monitoring these things here. Okay. And every time they touched a different part, they had, now, something else too, they had all kinds of people, man. They had male, female, something strange about this is they had something that wasn't human. They were half human, half somebody else, on this table. They were hybrid on this table also. That makes me thought about that too. So the human wasn't the only one on that table. So they took us out of there, and then they took us into another place where they had, I call it a nursery, like when they had all these hybrid babies, different stage of growth. They had some like maybe a couple of years old. They had some even in the early stage of the embryo stage, inside of a big glass tube, like they were coming down to a liquid. Had those there. And then they'd go a little further, had little babies jumping over. They wasn't jumping over a little railing, but they just floating over to the next one, you know, just over to the next one. You know, like our little baby in the little crib, you know, it stands in the crib, you know. Well, these little things, these little babies, these little babies, beautiful little babies, they were beautiful little children, you know. They would just float over to the next one, float to the next one. Just,
And I was just wondering, do you think that when they had the hybrids on the table and the humans, and they were testing the humans, maybe they wanted to see if the reactions were the same in their hybrids that they created as with the humans? Because you say those little things lit up.
yeah. And it could be, I don't know. I never thought of the detail was, that's a good thought.